Good evening, all Dharma Masters and all Lotus Friends. Tonight, we will visit and continue on with our recent learning, The Ultimate Aim of Life, Rebirth in the Pure Land, by Master Jingkai. This time, we will learn from the finalizing thoughts of the sharing, the third and final part. Just to remind you of a few important points from last time, where we left off. We bridged together the first two important teachings. First, we had been reminded of the difference of Dharma knowledge as a tool for liberation, rather than cumulating teachings, which, in contrast, can be beneficial when learning worldly knowledge. This concept is solidified for us with the example of Lady Vaidehi, who, little by little, came to fully accept deliverance by the other power of Amituofo. Tonight, we will elaborate on techniques that the Buddhas use to lead us to deliverance, knowing when the timing is perfect for us to develop our faith. With that, we'll go ahead now and hear the rest of Master Jinkai's words. Master Shandao brilliantly captured how Shakyamuni Buddha and Amitabha Buddha work in perfect harmony in delivering sentient beings. He says, Shakyamuni Buddha sets his gaze on the western land of bliss for the sake of all beings. He longs to deliver from samsara's abyss. Amitabha Buddha, with profound insight, appears in the Saha world's domain to guide beings with skill and might towards liberation's sacred terrain. One world-honored one promised, the other responded. They take turns to manifest and stay concealed, their goal the same, to end all woes, and help all beings find true repose. With artful means, they teach and guide, adapting to each ordinary being's need, their wisdom vast, their love sublime. In their care, beings can safely abide. Shakyamuni Buddha set his mind on Amitabha for the sake of Vaidehi. Since Vaidehi is the embodiment of all ordinary beings like us, it was for the purpose of delivering us that Shakyamuni Buddha set his mind on Amitabha, and that Buddha's primal vow. It is clear that the sage's path cannot rid us of our afflictions, because we do not have the aptitude and capacity to practice the sage's path. The moment Shakyamuni Buddha thinks of that, Amitabha knows at once. And with profound insight, he appears in the Saha world. The two Buddhas work in perfect harmony. With great skill, they guide and lead us to the land of ultimate bliss, relying totally on the power of Amitabha's primal vow. Shakyamuni Buddha promised Vaidehi to end her woes, and he showed her the way. That done, it was Amitabha's turn to manifest himself, and Shakyamuni Buddha faded in the shadow. That's why Master Shandao said that, while their goals are the same, the timing for their appearances are different. When Shakyamuni Buddha has accomplished his mission of urging us to aspire for rebirth in Amitabha's land, and pointed us in the direction for his doing so, Amitabha Buddha appears like the brilliant sun high up in the sky, shining brightly on us. Master Shandao used the metaphor of two skilled craftsmen to show how skillfully the two Buddhas save sentient beings. There were two craftsmen in the ancient city of Yin, a carpenter and a plasterer who worked together at times. One day when the plasterer was painting a wall, a tiny speck of white paint, no bigger than a fly's wing, got on his nose. He asked the carpenter to wipe it off for him. Without hesitation, the skilled carpenter took his axe and expertly chipped off the tiny white speck from the tip of the plasterer's nose without harming it, a remarkable feat. However, the plasterer had to trust the carpenter completely and remain perfectly still, or he would lose his nose. The two craftsmen worked together seamlessly. The emperor heard this story and wanted the carpenter to demonstrate his skill before him. However, such a skill could not be flaunted as a performance. Who would volunteer to have the carpenter demonstrate on them? The two of them would have to know each other very well and work in perfect synchrony. Otherwise, someone would die. Likewise, the supreme Dharma of liberation must truly be matched between Buddhas, not bodhisattvas. That's because bodhisattvas may lack the wisdom and compassion needed to employ it, and could even have doubts. We have two Buddhas, Shakyamuni Buddha, who was diligent, and Amitabha Buddha, who made the most compassionate vows. They are like the two skilled craftsmen in the Saha world. They are highly accomplished masters using their skills to save living beings. They take on different roles at different times, persuading or liberating. When persuading, Shakyamuni Buddha wields the axe. When liberating, Amitabha takes the axe. They take turns, one being active, the other receding into the background. Why go through all this trouble? Because ordinary beings have different capacities. The Buddhas must play different roles to guide them and suit their abilities in order to save them. And we are causing a lot of worries for the two Buddhas. If you consider yourself a disciple of Buddha, for now, put aside the sage's path and rely on Amitabha's primal vows. Returning to the beginning of the story, we may find ourselves climbing the vine, obsessing over worldly concerns such as life, wealth, status, and even incompatible dharma paths. However, upon hearing the primal vows and teachings of the two Buddhas, what do we do next? We no longer fight the tiger of death, but just recite the Buddha's name while contemplating rebirth in the Pure Land. When our time comes, we must let go of our attachment to the vine and trust in Amitabha's guiding light, allowing ourselves to be reborn in the Buddha's land and transcending the three domains. In this way, our lives become complete and perfect. While death is frightening, what awaits us Amitabha reciters at the end of our lives is the unconditional salvation of Amitabha Buddha, who is our refuge. We have absolute peace of mind. May I wish that you all have faith in the Buddha, recite his name, and are reborn in the land of ultimate bliss. Namo Amituofo. So now that we've all reviewed this together, I do hope it encourages us to have peace, especially in those moments when life seems uncertain or appears full of all types of suffering. And thank you for giving me the time to learn this with you. Namo Amituofo.